from East LA. This is your disc jockey here, Patrick J. Martinez. Thank you guys for joining me tonight here at Studio B. Tonight, everybody, we have a wonderful discussion and conversation lined up tonight that reflects today's political temperature. Now, what we're going to do tonight is we're also going to express this one thing. I have with me my cohort Becky, who we know from Ham Radio, who usually hangs out with us on Mondays. Becky, how are you?
Doing good.
You doing good, Becky?
I don't like the lighting in here though today.
You don't like the
I'm
lighting
live and it looks horrible.
I am so sorry. How does everyone else feel? You know what? Introduce our guest because we're going to have a wonderful conversation.
Comadres.
We're going to have fun.
Yes.
Okay,
So today we have here with us, for people that are watching live, we got La Crybaby y La Wicked Ass Psycho. In that order. 1, 2. And their friend.
Hey.
Hi. And who's our friend?
Ray.
Ray. Let's acknowledge Ray.
I saw Ray.
Hello, Ray.
And who else we got to acknowledge? Because I got to do this because, it is one of my brothers. Said your husband was here?
He's on his way.
He's on his way. Okay, so
he done dropped us off like a lift. He was like, get out!
Oh, you guys. Okay. So this is the
Stop.
man here
He made
who
it.
is being abused.
Say hi.
And you know what? Let's let him in.
Thank you for being an amazing person and dropping us off.
Oh, for real. Yeah, I thought we'd give you a shout out because I could only
Shout out to
imagine
the
what-
Uber. Shout out to the
Yeah,
Lyft. Shout out to the man that takes care of us.
And before you came in, brother,
Tony.
I'm Patrick.
Nice to meet you.
And you're Tony?
Ralph.
Nice to meet you. Were you? I don't know.
No, Tony's watching
No,
us.
Tony's watching on the live.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, you're throwing names at me and I'm getting...
He's like, I'm sorry.
Before you came in, were you able to hear us pretty good on that little radio out there?
Yeah.
Did you notice? Okay.
Yeah.
We were able to hear
Turn
you.
off
the light,
ladies
it's so
and
hot
everything.
in here.
It is, huh?
I was like, wait, I think I'm here.
You're here. Okay, perfect.
All right, great.
Okay, I'm gonna go live.
But
So,
it goes too dark if we're
it's
off.
too dark. I know. It is
Or do we
warm.
turn on the...
No, it is warm. Let me
Do you
get
have a
little
portable
place to put
AC
it.
now?
Oh, that thing right there is that purifier.
It feels nice.
Okay, we got one that like our temperatures. Awesome. Okay, so we are definitely going to be covering a couple things, Becky, because Becky is here today because we had our availability. This is the night you guys were able to come in. I guess we were able to come in, and we're going to be talking about this campaign that you guys have been really just working on, and it's the response to this whole ICE issue. And one of the things that I'm very that I admire about this whole thing is your response and not reaction to what's been going on. All right, and that's what I've been like because it's been like thought out. And we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into how you guys went about it, how you decided to go along with your resistance and your protest, and how you decided to do for this campaign that is active in assisting those that are being affected by these raids and everything, right? So what we want to do is we're just going to cut in to one song here in a moment and get ourselves like ready and make sure everyone's here is listening to us. Becky,
Yes,
is
sir.
there anything we had some other things that we wanted to share too, right? We have the classes. I want to be able to get to the community classes.
Yes. Do we... Well, yeah, when we come back.
We'll get into that. We'll talk about that. But you know what? It is getting a little warm. I kind of want to
Open the door and like
Open the
swing
door,
it. So
get some-
when it gets hot, I
Yeah.
open my door and I just be like
Swing.
So-
give love.
swing and I swerve.
And we're gonna be coming back. We're gonna come back because this energy is so good, and we're gonna get through this conversation. And I'm loving it, guys. We're gonna get into an old plate here. I pulled out an old Belmont's, Becky, because I know we've been exploring what we've been calling Earth oldies. I know that's something that we've been working on. So I went into a bunny box real quick. Alright, so I went into a bunny box real quick, guys. We're gonna be right back in a moment. Here's KQBH 101.5 FM. You guys are tuned into studio.
Psycho, run! Get in my way!
Is this the first time you have a conversation like this on here, or
Oh,
no?
with
Is
this
this
many people or this topic itself?
whatever?
Both.
Well, this is, I'm usually just like a general audience, but yes, is this like a heavier topic for me? Yes.
Okay.
And my heavy topics are usually thought out.
We won't go so
I
deep.
tell
No,
Patrick to get
no, we
risky with
shouldn't.
it.
We should go deep and have fun. That's
Risky
the whole point.
flash people? Or risky like dip a toe in there.
That's right. We had that toe conversation the last
He
time
said-
we were dating. Right? You guys were talking about the feet last
This is
time.
my second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's your feet pick thing.
All right, we're gonna come back
I
into
got a thing for my
Becky,
feet.
you're three.
I'm telling you, comadre, start selling pictures of your feet.
I'm gonna start selling pictures.
I have a
of my
homie
feet.
who will buy them for $150 and support your habit.
What? Which
He
one?
has a pleasing
here we go,
kink. You got pictures of
KGBH 101.5 FM. You guys are tuned in to Studio B. Episode of the Geek from East LA. This is Patrick J. Martinez, and we're sitting here with a special presentation of the two. I have my cohort, Becky,
Hey.
with me tonight. And Becky, again, let's introduce our guest because we have a wonderful conversation coming up. A very important conversation. And you've also been participating.
I
in
went
this
to one,
campaign.
yeah. Because I can't be a metiche all the time.
Well,
so I
no,
went
but
to
you,
one.
you can. But we're also here because you're also, as in terms of just as our outlet here, you're actually there, showing support.
Yes.
Now, again, everybody sitting here with models and activists, Miss Crybaby and Miss Wicked Ass Psycho sitting along with us. Now, staying away from kind of the hot political topic, right? Because we all know what's going on. We all think it sucks. There's a lot to process, right? A lot of us are processing it. I'm processing it as the weeks go by. However, as I'm processing, I'm also observing. Right? Because there's a lot to pick up. I want to hear what you two have been doing. Because you guys have been out there supporting the vendors with these buyout
Yes.
campaigns. All right, so please let me maybe let's start with you.
What's
Talk
up,
to us.
guys?
What's
I'm
going on?
back. Back at it again with the back at it again, and I brought my twin Psycho. Say what's up, Psycho.
It's cracking, everybody.
Right.
What's up?
So talk to us because people have this is
I've been an activist since 2019.
2019.
I started popping out when I've never been political, but when I heard that they were separating kids from their parents, I started hopping out ASAP.
Okay, so you were doing this. That's when we were talking about the past administration with the
It's
in
2019.
Pomona, right? And was this the Pomona issues too? That we had a lot of.
It's not just Pomona. It's,
But we had a lot of sites. I know that one.
Yeah. The Pomona was a
Yeah.
site. Yeah,
Site,
I did
yeah.
go to the
So you
Pomona
were
when I went to the
active that one.
Adelanto.
Okay.
I went to
Okay.
a few. I was at. I don't want to say every protest, but let's say like almost every other protest at that
Okay.
time, and then I got pregnant and I stopped. And
Well,
then
What the reason why I like that you're saying this? Sorry to interrupt, but because it gives everybody this context that you've been at this campaign.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That was one of the things that I caught that about you, that you had been doing these
Yeah.
already.
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
Yes. No. Yes. And
Yeah.
so that was that pivotal moment in change that you were like, I have to be active.
Yeah.
Okay. And some of those, how many did you organize for that?
At
for
that
the
time,
particular
before
Yes.
I was
Yes.
young.
Okay.
Right now I'm 27.
Okay.
At that time I was probably 21.
Okay.
So I wasn't organizing them. I just pop out by myself.
You were
I
participating.
have free time, and I was young, so if I had free time to do anything else, why not pop out for my people?
Yeah.
So now that I'm older, I don't think we thought about organizing anything. I think we were just two women who just wanted to do something, and we were already being a part of something that's creating, but it was taking time. And we're like, no, we want to go out today. We want to do something right now, because what's happening is today and right now. So we just wanted to get out there, and we just two minds, great minds think alike, and we put our thoughts together, ideas together, and we just made it crack. And thankfully, it's been successful. We buy out vendors. When we first popped out, we don't know how it was gonna go.
Yeah.
We're known a little bit on Instagram and TikTok.
Mhm.
So with love comes hate.
Yes.
So we didn't know what was gonna happen, whether cops or ICE or just hateful people come and try and mess up what we're trying to do. We were ready for anything, but thankfully, we had more love than hate.
It's been positive.
Yeah.
It's been a positive reaction, right? Because I think what it is again, we're at a time, and it's either we react or do we respond, right? Because those are two different methods of reactions, right? So this comes off to me as more meditative. So it's like, what's that? So this was a natural companion piece to the protest and coming together and marching. So this, to you, this was like a natural progression. Like these two should be put together in terms of.
I protest already.
Yeah.
So on my free time, I'm either protesting or vending for vendors. Originally, I was just protesting, and just thankfully, me and my homegirl Crybaby just literally feel the same. We have the same heart to this. Like we wake up and it breaks our heart seeing what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us cry. How can anybody just sit there and do nothing? And I was born here. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And me personally is I want the youngsters that are born here that could do something to do something. Because right now who's getting targeted are people that are not born here, and if they want to do something, they have it's a possibility that they get taken. But they can't take us. Where they're going to deport us to? Back here? Back in LA? So, me personally, is I just want the youngsters to come out and do what we're doing. And thankfully, we have a diverse audience that have been coming out to help us, that come and volunteer. Older folks, younger folks, all types of skin colors. I don't think it's so much of a race thing right now. I think it's great that it's a community thing and people are really coming together, because with community comes unity.
Yeah. And
it's just beautiful seeing everybody come out and just help us on what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Crybaby. Let's hear from you on this campaign as well as.
So my parents are undocumented, and I remember my mom taking me to a marcha back in it had to be, I was in the 6th grade, so this was like 2006. That was my very first marcha, so I had to be like, so my mom took us. I remember she threw us on the metro, on the green line, and then my daddy came and picked us up after, because he had to go to work, but my mom took all 4 of us with her.
Oh, so, okay, so she
took us. She was,
brood.
Yeah, and I remember that day everybody had to wear white shirts. I made it Piolín, so I made them that day. And from there, it made a big impact. During 2020, I wanted to go protest, but, I just had my baby. I didn't know, we didn't really have income like that, and I feel like at that time, it wasn't that I didn't care, because I did. I very much cared about what was going on. I didn't really know how to go about it, and that sometimes you do have to be a little selfish, where you have to make sure that your home is okay. So that was that. But when this happened, the homegirl, an OG, came up to me and she told me, hey, I want to do something with groceries. I called up everybody. I was like, can I do this? Can I do this? All the barbers that I knew, barbershops, I hit them up. That's my, as many people know I'm a barber, so I hit up all the barber people that I know. I said, let me post up something on your shops. A lot of barbers were cool and they were happy about it, but, it was moving a little slow, so I hit up, the homegirl, and I was like, hey, there's this flower lady, I want to buy flowers off of her, and I just told her, I was like, what do you go through, what do you need, and she's around the corner from my house, and she tells me, sometimes they come and the city comes and they throw out my flowers. Sometimes random people on the streets will yell and cuss at me, and she don't speak English, so her kids don't even translate what they say to her sometimes. So she'll go run off and hide, and she hides under this bridge, because if she hides under the bridge, it's like a different city limit, so they can't tell her anything. So it's almost like she beat the system a little bit, So, and her kids will tell me, and they'll tell me, they do this, they stalk us, they take pictures of us. People will yell at my mom, and these are kids that are 12 years old, and they'll tell me, they do this, they do that, but they come and they sell flowers with her. And I think seeing that, I hit up the homegirl cycle, and I was like, hey, you know what, it's moving a little slow for the grocery things, because I think when people say, hey, let's deliver groceries, they don't think, where they're delivering the groceries to, how are we distributing them, and then how do we prevent. I think a lot of things people don't think about is that as people that are activists, you get targeted as well. And even if you're just delivering stuff, I remember, because my man was like, you need to keep it on the low, but it's like, how do I keep it on the low, and how do I put the word out that I need to help people, so thankfully we met another organization who's already doing that. So we just moved over our volunteer list over to her. And right now our main focus has been just going out and selling with the vendors. This morning I went out to Santa Ana and I helped a 16-year-old boy go help him sell flowers, and then he tells me I gotta clock out. There's a senora coming in, and she looked like Mama Coco, and she had a and she was selling flowers out, and my homegirl bought out her last 4 flowers, and after that, you couldn't believe it that people don't want to take free flowers.
Really?
You would think people didn't want to take free flowers, and they were like, "Oh, I can't." And I was like, "They for the free. Like, you guys complain 20, 25 is too much, and I'm telling you, free, you don't even want them." But I think the area is a little different than how I'm used to out in Hawthorne. So maybe it's the area, but people cared. Some people were like, "Oh, I don't have nothing." I was like, "I already bought them. Just take them."
Yeah.
We just went to another event after it. I was like, "Oh, they're for the free," and they're like, "For reals?" I was like, "Yeah, they're for the free. Like, I already bought them. I'm just giving them away. You want to give me 5, 3, a quarter? Like, I'll take it.
Which is again,
just
again,
like
it's return.
yeah,
into
like
the
it's just
pot,
so that way
even
I
if
can
they
help.
gave you on
Yeah,
top
so
of
just
that.
so I can help the next person pay it forward. And we've noticed people are coming out. I have homegirls, and right now I'm focused in LA. OC just happened to be because I tapped in with another person and I help. We're helping them out because people are always saying like, I don't see nobody doing something on OC. I don't see nobody doing anything IE. I don't see nobody doing something in SD. And I'm like, so you be the one to make the change. You be the one to make it happen, So that's why we were like, let's tap in Orange County. And thankfully I met some great people. And I think I don't go out and protest just because it's a little harder for me. I would love to, But I feel that if you can't go protest, there's more than one way to help. I think us selling flowers is a form of protest. You making posters is a form of protest. You going and just spreading the word on your Instagram and resharing, that's a form of protest. Like, you speaking and saying something is a form of protest. Like, right now being silent is a little more harmful than it is to be loud. I feel like, I don't think people realize that. Like, staying quiet is more hurtful than standing up. So if you can't go out and protest, you can't come out and donate. If you can't even donate, that's totally fine. Don't feel bad. But if you can reshare what we're doing on your Instagram story, or just telling the flower vendor that you see, that's helping a lot more than just turning off your phone and curling up in the bed and just
never
not
minding.
doing
Yeah.
pretending it's not happening. Because this is something that I tell people. I work out in West Hollywood, and I love the area that I'm at. It's cool. But I do hear people that are very disconnected to our community, and they say, "Oh my God, did you see that this and this happened?" And in the same sentence, they're like, "Oh, I'm going on vacation this and this place."
Always.
You know, and I feel, and I know that they care, but because they're so disconnected, they're kind of like, "What can we do?" And then on the same, on the other side of that coin, I have people asking me, "What are you doing? How can I help?" So I know that to some people, it's kind of like they don't realize it. Other people know it's happening. They don't know how to help. So I feel that because what we're doing, it's giving people who don't know how to help. They're like, okay, I don't know. We have another homegirl. She's a white lady, and her daddy was an activist. Shout out to the homegirl Dorda, and she was like, I don't know what to do, but I know I'm connection to the right people, and I can get you guys funding. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you can't go out and protest, you can't go out and do something, you can still help. Like, there's one way to do it. Don't feel that you not talking to the person next to you is not enough. Spreading awareness to what things that are going on right now is more than enough. Staying quiet sometimes, like I said, does more damage than it does good.
Yeah, and then too, as we think about those that are quiet, we also got to consider why they're quiet. And maybe it's just really that simple. We can't express it. It's always, I don't know how to, right? Because that could really be the real reason why we don't, right? And the logistics, because everything you're saying is, it does make, like, there's logistics to food donations and collection. And I think what I like about this route goes directly to the source, like those impacted the most.
And I think that's why some people are very hesitant to where they put, because if I didn't know where, and this is where we get people like, is it really going towards it? Or I was like, look, I need a video camera guy. I need somebody to hold the phone so they can physically see that the dollar you donated is going to the people you want.
And see that sometimes like even that feels.
Some people feel like I'm doing it for the clout.
Well, it's not even for the clout because that also, it's like, to me, like if someone had put me to that challenge and if someone puts me to that challenge, I feel like, why is this a challenge where I have to prove that I'm giving you the money? Like when I have to prove. And I think I get it because it's our time in which we live in. It has to be seen. It has to be flexed.
Yeah.
And it has to be, I think in this case, really what it is, if we are feeling this and bringing this point up, it's the accountability that we're asking.
See, originally, when we did it, we had no actual plan. Our only plan was go help this vendor and sell them out. Buy them out, then sell them out. That's something different that we're doing than other people do. And I think there's people who are just buying out vendors. I think it humbles you a little bit more to actually buy them out and sell.
And then do the work.
Sell their merchandise.
And understand the work.
Understand the work. See it, feel it, go through it.
Get cussed out, get pushed.
And after that, anytime, you're not going to just want to buy them out. You're going to want to do the work for them. Because not just it opens our eyes more and humbles us, but they feel the love so much more. Because they're like, wow, there's these people that are born here that are doing my work. They don't have to do it, but they're doing it.
I feel that that's what's different than what we're doing, you know? I saw somebody go and sell food for like a elotero, and that's what I told her. I was like, hey, we should do something like this. So we told the señora, hey, like we were telling people, hey, we just want to buy out a vendor. Yeah. And then next thing you know, like because she didn't give us the green light yet, you know, because they told us straight up, I don't trust nobody. Yeah. Because we've been done bad so, like, the 30 years we've been here, we've been done bad and dirty so many times. Why should we trust you? And I told them, I was like, I don't know, but I just want to help you. Okay, cool. So we went, so many things were happening that day. My phone died. I couldn't find the address.
It was a really bad day.
And I was like, somebody's praying on my downfall. You know, but we wrote...
And you know what? And that's probably right. Because remember, there's right now the thing that we have to... And this is what I tell myself. This is not something that I'm going to be, like, preaching or anything about. But I tell myself this. Because I feel it's true. There's a lot of devils out right now. There's a lot of devils in people's ear that are just...
Like I said, where love comes to hate.
Yes, so there's people that are going to try to...
I feel like
pull you away from your plan.
I don't know what it is, but I know I got somebody in my corner. I got a few people in my corner on the other side that are looking out for me all the time, because there's so many times that things could have gone left and they went just right, you know? And this particular situation, my phone died. I didn't have the lady's number saved. It didn't connect to my iPad. She only had the address. I'm crying. She's like, all right, we'll just roll up. I get there, and the señor was like, oh, you're here. And on top of that, we were an hour late, you know?
She actually ended up having some faith in us, because we got there, and she was in her PJs still.
She was like,
Yeah, we were scared that she was going to be at the spot selling already. We were so scared that we're going to get to her house, and she was already going to lose faith, and like, I got to go work, you know? Yeah.
So right up front, we had collected about $900. You know,
and that was prior to going.
That was prior to
and then to go.
Yeah, exactly.
To sell.
You know, it was at first we were saying we were just gonna buy at a vendor, and then next thing you know, she gave us the green light to say, okay, you can sell our flowers first. So up front, we paid. It was about. I know you don't want us to put numbers, but I'm gonna give numbers out because I feel people need.
Well, no, because put the numbers up because.
I'm gonna put the numbers out because I want people to understand
how much she got and how we were able to put on top, and I think it gives paints a good idea on how.
And this is kind of how we're doing it. Look. We had racked up about $956. I remember $956, and she told us, "Hey, the total of our flowers is $750." Up front, we gave her $750. We're like, "Here you go," because we were like, maybe she thinks we're just gonna take her inventory and run.
And that was
like
it.
That. The whole point was, if we're gonna vent for a family for that one day, at least one day, they get to relax. And how are they gonna relax if they're not knowing if they're gonna get their money back? Yeah. So if we hand them money up front, they got no choice but to relax.
Now, were you using their same equipment, their same material?
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's their buckets.
And then that's the other thing on top of that, because it's not only just the money. It's like,
it's their flowers.
Are these people gonna give me my stuff back?
Yeah.
So
my equipment, like this is, this is like my shop that I'm also letting them run.
We came back. What they sell in 2 days, we came back in 2-3 hours.
Really?
Yeah. So when we told her we're coming back, she goes, "No way, for real." We pull up and we're like, "Well, here's your buckets," and then she just invites us in, and that's when she starts to let us know.
She tells us that some days she don't even sell half of what we already sold.
Really?
That, you know, sometimes it's slow days. You know, she's telling us about. So we sold out all the flowers, and on top of that, we collected some donations. So we ended up turning around again. We made back all the $900 that we had spent. So on top of that, we had $200 left over, and then we sold all the flowers, and then we just basically made up the $700 that we had sold. So we told her, hey, you know what? Here's the $750, and guess what? We sold you out too. So here's another $750, and then they went home that day with $1,500. So that day they got $1,500, and I feel that people are like, okay, I'm gonna buy out the flowers, and with those flowers, I'm gonna go and buy out somebody else. But what I wanted to do, and what Psycho and I wanted to do was, because at first she's like, how are we gonna do that? I was like, just give them the money. I was not like, and we're gonna sell their flowers, because I think it's different when you go and you post on Instagram, you go, hey, I'm selling flowers. But when you go outside and you post up, we felt right away how people see us.
Well, because one, and then two, look, because we see it, but we don't really put ourselves in it, because you're standing in the street.
I'm gonna give you the rundown on how we
Yeah,
started.
how was it? So just fill us everything, put
we
everything in. Make it.
Right away, when we were carrying the buckets, just to cross the street, a car almost hit us.
And
Not
that-
even the street.
And I was just walking.
We had parked next to a lot, and it was just, you know, the entrance so they can get into this drive-through. The car almost hit us, just us carrying
Like
the
they
flowers.
seen us though. We had the right.
And
they looked at us and still proceeded to like.
Really?
Who
And
cares?
then,
You know,
they
like that's
So
how
it
they
was,
thought
it
of
was
it.
very intentional.
Yeah. So then we went, and we were kind of setting up. These maintenance workers were like, don't post up there, because it was like in the street dividers. They're like, no, we're going to wet your flowers. Just move. All
Yeah.
right.
And then I started asking for a time. I was like, Are you guys gonna turn on the water right now in an hour like that? We could know
They're
exactly
like,
when
we don't know,
They're like, we don't
know.
know. Leave or you guys and your flowers are gonna get wet. So we're like, what the fuck? Okay.
So we left. What the fuck? So we left. You know? So then we went to the Pollo Loco across the way, and we just posted up right there. We had our boombox and everything, right? And as we're selling flowers, people are rolling up their windows. They're looking the other way. It's getting really hard just to sell, you know, the flowers itself. It's very demeaning when you can feel it. It almost makes you feel guilty for all the times that you rolled up or didn't even buy flowers, you know? Then somebody showed up and made posters for us, so that way we could explain. And once we pulled out our flags and we put up a poster, people started to really see, okay, these girls are not just regular, you know, like flower vendors. Like, we're out there screaming. We're telling people. A homeless person shoved me.
Didn't just shove.
He was crossing the street, and I'm
And started
standing
making
there.
racist remarks.
Yeah, I'm standing. I'm facing the cars, and I turn around, and he comes over with like a crate, and he shoves me. And of course, I started cussing him out. The moment the homegirl sees him the moment Psycho sees me and him going at it, she goes at it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that his energy, like, he was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Because
So-
It kind of malad by surprise.
because we weren't even dressed the way we were right now. I was dressed in like
We went,
a sun hat and like
we
a
went
shirt.
literally. We
dressed
went to
regular.
bed.
I didn't want to dress.
You were
I didn't want to
dressed
dress.
the way you had to protect yourself from the
Yeah.
heat. You had
Yeah.
to
I didn't want to dress like I
Comfortable.
did
Yeah.
when I go to car shows or events.
Yeah.
Because it's not for that. I just wanted to go dress comfortable, and I feel because I look, you know, like a regular
Regular, schmegular,
regular
Just a
person.
normal
He
person.
felt comfortable enough to say something. And when he heard,
And when we snapped, he was like,
and
"Oh
even
dang!"
the people in the cars that were seeing us, they're like, "Oh, what the heck?" And I was like, "All right, girl, we still can't harass him because this was a African American guy." And I was like, "We can't."
But we don't want us
We
to
don't
make
want-
it a
we don't
race
wanna make it a
thing.
racial
We're trying to
thing.
make what we're doing.
Well,
We're not
it
just trying to make it.
could've
We're
been-
gonna
it
keep
could've
And that's
been
what I
turned
didn't
into
want
that.
to
It
turn
could've
it
been
into.
turned into that.
Yeah.
So we're thinking of all when we go out there. Although originally we didn't have a plan,
Mm-hmm.
we had rules.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna make sure this doesn't turn to that, because all we want to do is spread positivity and awareness. And more than that is inspire the youngsters. We're not gonna inspire them to do right if we're doing wrong.
And then people that were black, they came up and they were helping us.
No.
Yeah.
It's
So there
very
was
the community helping us. That's
Yeah.
something I keep preaching. I keep advocating. I keep telling everybody since back then till now to the future. It's never gonna be just a race thing. It's a
not.
community thing. And either show up for your community, show up for another community, just show the hell up. and show out and show your support. And like the homegirl crybaby said, there's more than one way. I protest. That's the way I do it. But there's more ways than just that. Now we seeing that you could vend for vendors. You could share a post. You could just talk about it. There's a lot of people that really don't believe what's going on is real because it's so very surreal.
It is very surreal. Let's hold that thought really quick, everybody. We're going to come back to our conversation here. KQBH-LP, Los Angeles, California, 101.5 FM, a community service of the Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory. We are broadcasting live on your FM dial and streaming at kqbhla.com. We are broadcasting live off of Brooklyn Avenue in the beautiful city. I'm not doing anything that's active or feeling that I'm doing, and there's also that, right? And then how do I go into... There's a lot of anxiousness, right? Just following and watching what's going on. How about we start with, like you said there, the unity part. Like pushing, like, let's say that's what it is. It's a unity part. And let's say someone is dealing. I'm going to probably think of probably not the worst scenario. So here we are, someone who is uncomfortable being around other people. For whatever reason. Doesn't matter. For whatever reason, right? So what do we do to get that person who doesn't want to be around it? Like, how do we...
You cannot not get around
Yeah,
it.
it's like...
It's here, it's in your face. Either you see it or you don't. And if you don't, you're choosing not to. There's no nicer or blunter way to say that.
It's on the news. Like,
You
it's
can't
not...
avoid it, right?
It's in your
Look,
face.
let me tell you something. It's a meme.
Yeah.
It's a meme. Like, if the news is becoming a meme, like that guy that just got caught up on his affair, it's a meme. Like, people, and this is the funny part. Like, and let me give you an example. That guy that just got caught up in his affair, people are like, hey, my partner who's never on social media found out. That is how intense this is. It's funny, but this is how intense everything that's happening is aware. There's people out. Let me tell you my client. He says, my family's out in Michigan. They want to help, but they don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
Create a GoFundMe and I can send it to them. Because I told them, I got Cash App, Venmo. They're like, they don't want to send it to that. They want a legit, regular, real something that they can, tangible, they can send it to. I was like, okay, cool. Let me get back to you and create that. So you know that people, Michigan, are seeing that. You know, people all around are seeing that. They're like, how can we help? You know? And that's what I'm saying. It's becoming a meme. If the affair guy got caught up in his stuff and made it to the news to people who are living under a rock, for a fact, you don't think what's going on in the political thing is not relevant or is not being seen. It's happening. You know, I feel like people are very misinformed outside of LA. They're like, oh, they only see what's put on the news. But if you're online and you're looking at memes, I know you're looking at the videos that are getting posted up. So at this point, it's kind of like you are basically just... The only people that don't see it are kids that don't go online.
But even them,
But
they
they're
see it.
sincere.
There was a raid, right? And it happened in MacArthur Park. ICE went to a neighborhood that had nothing but immigrants. And not just the neighborhood park. They went and they had a whole plan to go raid it. They had that day was the first day that they do yearly a summer event for children. The children had to get hidden. There was one child that actually the mayor went to go check on him and told the mayor, those people outside are trying to take my parents. Even children are seeing it. So if the person's saying they don't know what's going on, no, they're just playing the role. They just don't want to see it because they don't want to have to choose. And it's not between political, it's not, oh, I want to choose this and that political wise. No, it's what's right and what's wrong. Children are being taken. Families are being taken. There's children being handcuffed. Children. No prior records, no nothing. They got to go and stand up for themselves in court. How is that?
It's not, yeah.
This is what's happening right now. It's deeper than what a lot of people are thinking. If it's not weighing heavy in your heart, you must have no heart. Because it doesn't matter. This could have been a race that's not even my own. And it would still hit me as hard as it is now. And I would still go out there and protest and put in the work that I'm putting in now. Because it's not a race thing. It's just a human thing. And with power comes numbers. It's not going to... One person coming outside and screaming is going to make no noise. They're going to take that one person and lock them up. But they can't lock up the world. They can't lock up 100 of us in one time. With power comes numbers.
There's a poem. I don't know it word for word. but it's a poem that somebody made. It says, they came for the communists and I didn't say anything. They came for the so-and-sos and I didn't say anything. They came for this and this person and I didn't say anything.
Yes.
They came for me and there was no one left to say anything about me.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Right now they're coming for, and this is where it was like, and this is where I have family that were like, oh, no se engañó, Trump lied to us. Now I was like, lied to who, babe? Because I already knew that they was going to come look for. The moment I heard that man saying negative things about the Latino community and Mexican community, I knew for a fact the moment that man had enough power, they were going to look at us funny. I think because I work in a barbershop and I hear people speak like all raw and how they feel, I saw it. It is very hard for me to sit here and feel like it doesn't impact me, maybe because my parents are undocumented and I felt it, and I feel like it's very true the things. I feel like you have one dummy saying something and he's got 100 other dummies following exactly what he's saying to the T religiously, and that's where I'm saying like there's no way you can't understand and see how it's not true or it is. And let me give you another example. My son is 7. He's got a little cousin. She's 7. My son doesn't feel it because he's got, his parents, me and his daddy, we're born here.
Mm-hmm.
But his grandparents aren't, and I had to give him a very brief rundown of what's going on. But my niece, she's the same age as him, and my cousins are undocumented. I know for a fact she's very aware, and she's scared. They're the same age, but they're living 2 different perspectives. But I know that it's very much affecting her and her brother, and it sucks to see that she's living exactly what I lived as a kid.
You know what I think it is, to go back to what Wicked was saying, is in how the kids are they know outright. Because you know what, normally, in a normal situation like this, parents can normally hide it enough, right? Like, let's think of any other situation, right? Where you can at least try to do your best to kind of have the kids not listen to the news, not listen to any sort of outlet, right?
You can shield them usually.
But you can shield them. There's usually other incidents where you can shield them, right? Recession, I can shield them. We're not struggling.
Yeah.
Housing issues. They don't know anything, right? There's things like that. Bills, whatever, food we can't eat, we can and then the kids won't know. But this is something that we can't shield the
because
kids
I can only shield
from.
my son so much, but he goes to a predominantly Latino school where
It's all good.
kids
It's going to be
weren't
out.
going to school. I didn't send him to school because plain and simple, I didn't send him to school because I don't want him to see it. Even though he can't be affected, it's still
traumatizing.
It's still
Yeah.
traumatizing, and they're not asking questions. The last thing I need is for him to be like snatched up, or 2, he sees it, So for me, it was no. I'm not gonna send him to school, even though we got papers and stuff. I just don't want him to see it, and I know that there are some families who can't do that, who don't have that liberty because they still have to go to work, or they don't. I feel very fortunate, and it's almost like a luxury of my son not having to feel that fear that I grew up with, and that some of his classmates are growing up with as well. It feels very luxurious. It feels, I don't know how to explain it. I feel rich. The fact that my son doesn't have to grow up the way I did.
No, you feel like I feel like that's the. I'll say this, and I'm not saying this for you because this is how
maybe I don't have the right words. Yeah,
I'm gonna say this not because I'm saying this for you. I'm not putting this in your mouth. I'm saying this because I know what you're going at. I'm gonna say this as a parent, and in the position right now, I would say, and I'm saying this for my son because I know where we're gonna go.
Right.
Let me say it. That my son has the privilege.
No.
The privilege to at least
to
feel that he can.
Yes.
He has a privilege that I didn't have.
Right.
And I get what you're saying.
That's what it is right now.
It's just to acknowledge that a little.
Come out is because we are privileged.
Too.
Yeah. That's why we're born here. That's a privilege. We're Americans. Don't be upset to be an American. What's going on sucks.
Yeah.
But we're proud Mexican Americans.
Mm-hmm.
We're proud Chicanos. We're proud Chicanas. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So everybody that's born here does have a privilege. Whether they want to see it or they don't. Whether you have a privilege to shield your eyes or you don't. You have a privilege. So use that privilege the right way. And this helping out and sharing awareness is
He has
How
that
to do it.
privilege that his cousins don't have. Yesterday when I bought out the vendors, I had my son with me and I was like, all I have is $100. I'll be right back. And he's like, what are we doing? I was like, hold these flowers. Like, we're gonna take them. He's like, where are you going? Why you have these flowers? I was like, oh, and he saw them running away. He's like, where are they going? I was like, they're hiding over there. And there was the city truck just looking at us. I was just recording, you know, and I was like, go run off. And he was just standing there, like you could tell he was kind of like, I want to go home. But after I explained to him, I was like, oh, you know, we need to buy the flowers for this, and that. He's like, oh, okay. But the kids that were out there selling flowers with their mom, you know, it's a different story for them.
Yeah, and see, that's
You
the
know?
thing. It goes back to what you're saying. Is like you can't avoid it because he's
Yeah.
asking questions. Mom,
Yeah.
why? The kids are asking questions. How come so and so's not coming to school right now? Why does it feel so weird? Why does it feel
My
weird?
parents are not immigrants.
Mhm.
My parents are from South Central. We're all from South Central.
Mhm.
You know, but just because my parents are not immigrants doesn't mean it doesn't affect me.
Her mom was out there selling flowers.
My mom was out there selling flowers. My mom went out
Twice.
there, yeah. And when I go protest, she'll cover up her face, her tattoos. You know, she has her job. She don't want to lose it. She goes out there and does it. I think it's important when spread awareness, even to your children, because it's important for everybody right now to know what's going on. Because if you turn a blind eye to it, or what happens when it happens in front of you, your children, you could prep them for it. Because what's happening, they're not picking and choosing who to do it in front of. They're not saying, oh, there's kids there, let's walk away, let's respect that. They're very disrespectful. They take children. There's ice cars with car seats inside. So it's important to tell your children too, to prevent them from just seeing it and just being so scared, because this is things that happens in movies. The fact that we're in 2025 and we're going through this, it's crazy.
My son is on the autism spectrum, so I know that he's not as aware. It's almost like he lives in his own world. But I know he's not dumb or nothing because he sees it. You know,
Just feeling it.
he feels it. You know, and it's almost like I know. And this is the thing that I tell people. And there was another lowrider model. I seen her comment. My family didn't cross no desert, no border. I'm not open to. And this is a girl who's big in the lowrider scene. You know, that was the way she expressed herself. And I messaged her. I was like, let me give you a rundown of my day. I was like, I had to explain to my kids, these cars with the green stripes are not our friends. The cops maybe are our friends, but we don't talk to them. The cars with the green stripes, we don't talk to them because they're mean and they want to take your nana and your papa and they don't care and they're just hurtful. And he's like, okay. And I had to break it down to the nitty gritty on like very simple terms. And I told her, this is what's going on with our lives. This is what's this. She's a lowrider model who lives out in another state. And once I told her, she's like, oh, I wasn't aware. And I was like, girl, how are you not aware? Like, she's like, I only see what I see on TikTok. I'm like, you know what? I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. If I'm out here telling you and you see our lowrider community is telling you, like, maybe you're choosing to be ignorant, maybe you don't care, but it is what it is. If you're out, I'm just gonna put it blank. If you're out there standing in front of a lowrider, or you're out there waving the Mexican flag, or you're out there just dating a Mexican,
Don't be a hypocrite. Yeah.
understand that we're going through something.
The whole Chicano community came from that. From
You
the
need
raza.
to
We are the
crack
raza.
open a history book and understand what the definition of Chicanismo is.
Yeah.
How Chicanismo started was through activism. The term Chicanismo was a term that we adopted ourselves. It wasn't. It used to be a derogatory term, and we took it and we turned it around. And like people, like how African Americans have turned the N word around and they adopted it. It's not the same, but it's kind of how heavy that word Chicano was to people. Yeah. We took that word and we turned around and we took
it was
and
a
we
derogatory
owned it.
word.
It was a derogatory term, and to make us feel like as if we weren't Mexican
like we were
enough,
nothing.
you know. And we turned around and we took it. And Chicanismo, the Chicano movement started in the '60s. You know, if you know, it started in the '60s. It started in the fields. It started in East LA when they were fighting for civil rights just in school. Chicanismo started. You cannot be a Chicano and not be political in some type of way, because Chicanismo started a political term, getting the most basic of civil rights. Just being able to speak Spanish in the classroom. How can you be a Chicano and not understand that this is civil rights, human rights? You cannot be a Chicano and not understand that this goes back to the 1960s. We had the Black Panthers, we had the AIM movement, we had the Asian movement standing right shoulder to shoulder with us. Crack open a god dang book. Learn. Take a Chicano studies class. Chicanismo started in the fields. Chicanismo started in the classroom. Chicanismo started with basic civil rights movements, with the Black Panthers, with the Brown Berets. I'm so sick and tired of all of you guys popping up a fedora, putting on some Ben Davis and saying, I'm a Chicana. No, you're not. You saw somebody on Pinterest, TikTok, and Instagram do it, and you thought it was cute. That's not what Chicanismo is, and I'm tired of everybody saying it's not political. It's political. Go to school. Did you not pay attention? Because it's showing that you guys fell asleep in history class, in ethnic studies class. It shows that all you do is dance on TikTok and to the trendy dances and say, I'm Chicano. It's more than that. It's political, and I don't care, and I will die on that thing. It's political. It's political. Stop saying you're a Chicano and not standing up for human rights. Crack open a book. Crack open a book. Take a history lesson. Go to your community junior college and take just a lesson on Chicano studies. That's where it starts. Chicano was chiquito mexicano, small Mexican, ni de aquí ni de allá. And that was a term that we adopted to feel like we were somebody.
Yeah, it was like you said, it was a derogatory term.
It was a derogatory term.
We had a listener real quick asking if the Zoot Zoots and the Chicanismo started. It's 20-year difference. The Zoot Zoots and all the riots were in the 40s.
Yeah. Well,
But you know what's crazy is that history keeps repeating itself.
Of course, we're going
It
back
keeps
80 years
repeating
right
itself.
now.
In the
There's
30s and the
Zoot,
40s, they took people. It was called the Wetback Movement.
Yeah.
Crack that book open. Go back
Yeah, it
and
was
look at the Operation Wetback. It's happening again. This is, if you don't even want to, go look at the movie Mi Familia.
Yep.
That's it.
It took place right here. In
Yeah,
our
it
backyard.
happened.
Well, at least to have some sort of context, yes. And
So you can see. That's why I'm so tired of people saying, I didn't know Donald Trump was going to. Yes, he did. He said it. I'm so sorry. You didn't think it wasn't going to happen to you because you was not brown.
For me, is that a lot of people right now, the low-riding C community is popping off. You know, there's a lot of people that want to dress and want to play a part. Don't play a part, be a part of it.
so in terms, and let's, as we're getting, as always, every time we come in here,
We didn't even play
let
music
me interrupt
today.
on that thought. We're getting close to our wrapping up.
Okay.
Okay, so now I want to go on that thought right there of,
Okay.
of being, be it, right?
Yes.
Of being it, right? Of doing it and being it. Now, in the way that you're going about it is one way to
be
about it.
Yeah.
And even your partner here in your campaign is saying just even money's enough to be it, because you're still recognizing that the problem's there and we're trying to work in correcting this problem, right? Up sharing a post again is enough to be it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's going to take those little steps, because if we start being it that way, then we start being it more and a little more, right? Then we could maybe just start maybe even participating, right? Now, before we end, the one thing I want to ask you, because I know this is a question that, like I said before we got together, I was going to try to come up with questions that were like naysayer questions, right?
All right, ready.
So my thing is this, and this is because I want to know this one too, and I know people are going to ask this one. What we're doing in our campaign now, can this and will this be sustainable for the near future to come? Because I know what my heart says.
Is this sustainable?
For the next future to come. For not just after this moment, because again, there's going to be another operation. Again, there's going to be another moratorium.
Me and my homegirl, we don't have just one idea or just one plan, or we don't want to have just one movement. We're about the whole movement. We don't want to help just LA. You know, we want to go to every city, help any vendor, not just vendors. There's farm workers, there's construction workers.
That's the thing, is that, like, right now we're helping vendors. We have people that are cleaning ladies, construction workers, gardeners. I don't know how to help them, but I want to learn how to help them. I want someone to reach out to me and tell me that, how can I help these people? I have homies that they own a landscaping business and they have their workers. I have family that are cleaning ladies and that they work in construction, you know. How do I help them? I don't know how, but somebody come and give me that information. Somebody come and tell me what's the best way to do it, because I can only know so much, and I want people to come and tell me. I like when people come and tell me, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right. Because maybe I'm seeing it from a different perspective. You know, I'm seeing it from the inside, but they're seeing it from the outside looking in. I welcome criticism because it gives me an opportunity to step outside and see what can I do to get better. It's different between constructive criticism and just being a troll, you know? So, is it sustainable? I hope so. I don't know. I feel like if the community can, they will, you know.
And if they can, we're going to try.
We created, we finally put a name to our movement. We called it Angeles de la Raza, and we hope maybe to make it a nonprofit and create a night market so people can come in and have fun, and the money we make off of that goes into this, like different ways. I think at this point, just us, like just, if you see a flower vendor, maybe you can't buy all 50 of their flowers.
Buy something.
But buy something. Buy one ramo and tell them, here, I have $20. How much is each ramo? Oh, they're $10. Here's $20. Give me 2. Just take it. If you sell them out, they can go home, you know? And just, if you can just take their info and give it to us, or even just say, how can I help you? Just talk to them. You know, you doing a little bit extra, just going out of your way to say something, is more than enough.
Now, before we close, and with all that in mind, and that for everyone that listening to absorb, between both of you, share the handles, your Instagram handles, emails, whatever you guys are working with, so people can continue to ask and know more about what you two are doing. Where can people?
If you need food and deliveries, groceries, or whatever, follow Siempre Unidos LA. They're working. This is another organization that we're working with. They are taking donations and then delivering food to anybody in LA. Siempre Unidos LA. Our organization, we're trying to put together, is called Angeles de la Raza. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok, Crybaby, KRYBAEBEE. So follow me right there on Instagram and TikTok.
For me, it's Wicked Ass Cycle, and I just want to let everybody know, with all this negative comes positive. With all this hate comes love. So don't let it bring you down, and just keep sticking together, keep rising up, because La Raza Unida jamás será vencida.
You guys are doing amazing by just resharing our post and telling us, just sharing it on your story. I appreciate it, and that's more than enough. So I want to say thank you to everybody that has donated to us, and we've been able to do this 4 times. So thank you so much to everybody that's just even listening now. Thank you to everybody who sees us, who recognizes what's going on, and don't feel like you can't do nothing. Just put it on your Instagram story. You don't know who's watching your Instagram story.
And I'm gonna leave it right there because you just don't know who's watching. And again, that's where we can go to get more information. I want to thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Hearing us out.
No, well, again, this is something that has to be discussed, and this is how we go about it, and this is how we put our minds together, and this is how we get
bring awareness.
To it. Becky, you want to do me a favor? You want to say goodbye? We got about a good minute and a half. You want to go ahead and say goodbye?
Say goodbye to all our listeners. No, just kidding.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.
All
Have
right.
a safe weekend, rest of your weekend, and we will see you here in a couple of days.
Yeah, we're going to see you a couple of days. Please
Yes.
join us for Ham Radio on Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Immediately following me, I believe we are going to have for the archives, everybody. This has been Studio B. This is Patrick J. Martinez with
Your
my
girl,
cohort, Becky.
yes. Yes.
And then our support pieces in the back. Thank you guys for being
Support
here with
pieces.
us. We are going to say good night, everybody.
Good night.
KTBH 101.5
Buenas
FM.
noches.